Welcome to the Bible Forum. You've been watching television, you've been listening to the news, you're paying attention. You know there's a whole big thing going on about changing the name of the Washington Redskins. But does the name Washington Redskins actually insult Native Americans? In interest of full disclosure, my fraternal great-grandmother was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian from Union County, South Carolina. Her name was Clemantha Bellew, B-E-L-U-E. She was my father's grandmother. I have a picture of her, large woman, smoking a pipe. This is close enough to allow me all sorts of advantages, college entrance, etc. None of which have I ever sought, unlike a certain former presidential candidate whose Native American heritage is more than twice removed. The popularity of making sure everyone gets their due is another feature of this generation that's running amok. Case in point is changing the mascots of professional sports teams. By virtually any poll, study, or survey conducted, the idea of changing the Washington Redskins name comes up as not important. You wouldn't know that listening to mainstream media. The most common emotion the survey takers cited when asked about how they felt concerning Redskins' name was the word proud. The next most common was indifferent. So at most it's fair to say that the nickname is polarizing. Today we're being told a name change is necessary for all, but the numbers simply don't back that up. The best known survey is likely a 2016 Washington Post poll that found 9 out of 10 Native Americans do not find the term Redskins offensive. The poll asked a random national sample of 504 Native American adults and was conducted by a phone interview. The margin of error was considered 5.5 percentage points. According to the Post, the 2016 poll found similar results to a 2004 poll conducted by Annenberg Public Policy Center. By now, it's 2020, and things have changed in the social landscape. It's a year where it's considered offensive to stand for the American flag. This season, 2 separate anthems will be played before NFL games for the sake of unity. And if you're not allowed to support the president, you are not allowed to support the president of the United States. A more recent survey conducted by Market Watch Research Organization in 2019, along with 2 other prominent research companies, 500 people who self-identified as Native American were polled. The method of interviewing and margins of error were not disclosed, but one of the surveys took a more human approach to their questioning, asking whether a person was offended by the term Redskins. It delved into what is called emotional DNA and asked for specific feelings on the team's name. That's the 21st century way. While the Post and the Annenberg poll both asked the professional football team in Washington call itself the Washington Redskins, as a Native American, do you find the name offensive or doesn't it bother you? The other survey presented interviewees with 40 options that included feelings like proud and love and fear. The result of the top 5 most common emotions, 3 of them were categorized as positive. That list includes the aforementioned proud, content, and satisfied. However, the only negative emotion to crack the top 5 was merely annoyed. Then there's the University of California, Berkeley. They published a study in the Journal of Social Psychological and Personality Science in March of this year, 2020. UC Berkeley researchers said they recruited 1,000 self-identified adult Native Americans across 50 states representing 148 tribes, and using the Qualtrics online survey platform, whatever that is. The study found that 49% of participants strongly agreed that the Redskins team name was offensive. 38% weren't bothered by it at all. The rest of participants were indifferent. Again, 49% comes nowhere near constituting a consensus. It's not even half. Which is all to say, whether you want to analyze a poll, a survey, or a study, the notion that the term Redskins is a horribly racist and hurtful team name is hardly a slam dunk. Is wiping out 87 years of NFL tradition really necessary to possibly placate at most half of the allegedly aggrieved? In any other year, the answer would be probably not. But this is 2020, and these kinds of things are becoming the new norm. Will we get used to it? Yeah. Will I? Nope. I'm old, on the way out. The young people coming up won't even know about 87 years of NFL tradition, nor will they care. Caveat, I'm not a Washington Redskin fan. Just saying.